Wow, there's been some huge news and insane rumors flying about this week. The SAG-AFTRA actors strike is finally over, so we'll start to see everything back in full swing soon. Then, might we see Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans back in the MCU as Captain America and Iron Man? And is Kevin Feige leaving Marvel to manage Star Wars? This could be a huge shakeup and a massive strategic change of direction. But is this all due to the earnings calls and the investor calls and earnings reports that Disney just had? Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's do this properly. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Comic Cave for the weekly show. If this is your first time joining the channel, please hit the like, drop a comment and say hi. Subscribe so you can stay up to date and see the new content as it comes out. Yes, this is the home of the world's largest Deadpool collection, but it's more than that. It's my happy place. I have loads of different Marvel and DC statues, and in a new feature I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, I show you a section of my new vintage figure display. This week I'll be doing one of my favorites, Thundercats. But more on that later. In this show, I talk about the latest rumors and news from the geek world that broke this week. I also try and let you know if there's any potential comic speculation that I think is relevant, because comics are my first passion. But in the last few months, we have seen the comic market hit pretty hard. Okay, let's chat about all this after the intro. Stick around and we can get right into it. Hi everyone, I almost didn't do a show this week because I've been renovating our bathroom, but when some of these stories broke, I realized I kinda had to. So let's start with the big one. The SAG-AFTRA strike is finally over. So on Thursday at 12 o'clock, it was made official that an agreement had been reached. The studios gave in to the actors' demands with regards to AI. But that's only for the next 3 years. The contract will be revisited after that. So I guess there'll be enough time to speculate on how things might change, but both the studios and the actors were at an impasse. The studios were being pressured after investor calls and quarterly earnings reports that were coming out the next day. But in the 118 days of the strike, 45,000 jobs were lost, and it resulted in a $6.5 billion loss to the economy of Southern California. If a deal wasn't made now, it would be possible to only probably get back to the table in January, and people have lost their homes because they couldn't pay their mortgages. It would have been a lot worse the longer it went on. So it's a win-win for now. I'm just happy we'll start to get more content being created. Did you see the show Echo will be under a new banner, Marvel Spotlight, like the comics? So it looks like this will be the format, to showcase a character of interest. The Marvel special presentations will be one-shots, and the series going forward must have the potential for at least 2 to 3 seasons, because it'll help drop the costs for set design. The next rumor I heard, and this is a big one, is Feige leaving Marvel to take over Star Wars. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So please drop a comment or even just send me a message if you like. Let me start by saying that there's no definitive proof of this yet. However, after I pieced together recent articles, this kind of makes sense. Do I like it? No, not really. But 2 weeks ago, it was announced that Daredevil Born Again would be the first MCU project with a showrunner. And that seems fine, but Kevin has always had the creative control over all the projects, so he can put his final touch on the series and movies. So I can see that after Secret Wars, which would be the end of this current saga, Kevin Feige would step down to replace Kathleen Kennedy at Star Wars. And if we look at it, Kevin built the Marvel franchise from Iron Man 1 to its height at Endgame, and the storytelling and plot linkages were just brilliant. And that kind of leads me on to the next rumor, because The anchors of that phase of Marvel that made it successful were the original 6 Avengers. And after Endgame, we know we lost Cap, Tony, and Natasha. And last week I told you that I heard musings about bringing them back, but now apparently it's out that Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. have signed on for Secret Wars. That completely makes sense with the multiverse saga, that there would be other versions of them that look the same. But the big question here is, will they stay on after the soft reboot of Secret Wars? I mean, I could go on about this and why I think they might, but let's get into the other stories before I run out of time again. So, Marvels is now out in the cinemas. And here's a funny fact. This is the first time ever that 2 Marvels projects premiered on the same day, because it was the season finale of Loki and the Marvels at the box office. I've decided I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, so I will give it 2 weeks before I get into any spoilers and what they mean, and which comics you could possibly pick up due to speculation around those things. Okay, so Matt Shakman, the director for the new Fantastic Four movie, will announce his cast hopefully by the end of the week. And Jake Gyllenhaal is rumored to get the lead of Reed Richards. We'll also be getting the first trailer for Madam Web next week, so I'm interested to see how Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney pull off their parts. Oh yeah, I'm very proud of this one, but check out my new vintage display for my Thundercat collection. Now, here you can see the characters. I'm only missing a few super rare ones. The figures were made by a company called LJN, and they started coming out in 1985. So yes, 38 years ago. It was hard to track down, but this is the cat's lair. I also have included the variant figures into display, so you can see the color difference in lino on this one, or the giant hair tiger variant. What's really cool is they made miniatures of the big figures. I remember trading them when I was back in school. But this snowman of Hook Mountain on his cat, I had to get from eBay because it's really rare, and I'd never even heard of the minifigure before. So I've split them like my other displays into the goodies and the baddies. Here you can see the Thunder Tank, and on the villain's side, the Fist Pounder and Mumbo's Crypt. With regards to comics, I had a look at the latest FOC list, and I'm not impressed. There's nothing I would recommend jumping into currently, and even though the market is in a slump, you still see crazy hype books like X-Men 130, which is the first appearance of Dazzler, going for silly money. It's obviously fueled by rumors of Taylor Swift playing Dazzler in Deadpool 3. I saw Ryan Reynolds post a picture of Dogpool saying that they're looking at a summer 2024 release date. Oh no, I'm out of time again. Well, thanks for joining me, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic week. Till next time, catch you on the side of the flipping. Okay, bye.